Okay, so real quick, before we get into the list, I'm going to talk about the criteria real quick. Obviously, we're looking for intel weapons. And this list is going to be a little biased, just like my last one. A little self-biased. Because personally, I love the stance break and I love the big weapons, so there's a lot of big weapons in here. But other than that, most of these weapons do have a ranged Ash of War, so it does kind of benefit the mages. Because most of the time, you are going to be keeping your distance, so you kind of need a weapon that has a good Ash of War that can also keep its distance as well. So most of the weapons in here do have a nice range Ash of War. A lot of them are big weapons, but other than that, pretty simple. Pretty simple standards for this list. But I don't want to waste too much time, so we're just going to jump right into the list. Don't hate me too much. I hope you can agree a little bit. And hope you enjoy. Alright, so starting off the list at number 10. The Falling Star Beastjaw. Pretty fun weapon to use. It's a colossal weapon, so it does good stance. Very good damage. And the Ash of War, you can hit from a distance, and it still does quite a bit of damage. Still got that stance. Still got that good damage. And it's a colossal weapon. What more do you want? What more do you want? I love colossal weapons, so this is perfect. This is a perfect pick for me. But I can only give it a number 10. Okay, so let's give it a 10 and let's move on. Okay, let's move on. It's a good weapon, but there's not much to it. Okay, so for number 9, this one's a little different. This one's a little weird, okay? It is a really good weapon, but it really depends on what boss you're fighting or what enemy you're fighting. Because if you're fighting a big enemy, this weapon's going to hit a lot, do good damage, and stance break very well. But if you're fighting a small enemy, the spread on it isn't... It's pretty big, the spread, when you do the special ability. So if the enemy's small, you're not really going to hit them as much. So for bigger enemies, I'd recommend using this. But for smaller enemies, I do not recommend using this. Because the Ash of War really carries this weapon, I'm going to be honest. Still a pretty fun weapon. It's a curved sword, so it's kind of nice. I like that weapon class. But yeah, pretty good weapon. Pretty good number 9 slot. Moving on. Okay, now for number 8, we got another colossal weapon. The Gazing Finger. This is a DLC weapon, just a little heads up. So you are going to need to get the DLC before you try to get this weapon. But this weapon has nice damage, it has nice stance break, considering it's a colossal weapon. And the Ash of War is very nice. If the enemy gets stunned easy, the moveset on this, the Ash of War, this shit will stun them so much. It'll keep them on the ground. If they can get stunned. Not all bosses and not all enemies can. But if they can, this is a very good weapon. Good damage, good stance, great weapon. Great number 8. Alright, for number 7, we got the Ruins Greatsword. Another big weapon. I love me my big weapons. You get good stance, you get good damage. Well, why wouldn't you like a big weapon? And it's huge. It just looks cool when you're holding a big weapon. But this weapon has amazing damage, amazing stance, and the Ash of War on this weapon, it's like the Blasphemous Blade, but you don't get health back. It's pretty much the same thing as that. But it's like the magic version of the Blasphemous Blade. Very fun, very cool in my opinion. Very solid number 7, in my opinion. Okay, for number 6, in my opinion, this weapon is like massively underrated. I never see anyone talk about this weapon. I don't know why. I love this weapon. This weapon's amazing. It's a great sword, so great swords are amazing in this game. For the Ash of War on this weapon, it coats your weapon in Ghost Flame, so when you attack the enemy, you get a nice little frozen ice proc. That's nice. This weapon has very good scaling, very good damage. It's a great sword, so it has that stance break potential. And of course, you got that passive frostbite proc. Like that's amazing. Especially if you are a mage, because I'm pretty sure if you're a mage and you freeze the enemy, your spells will do more damage when they have that frozen thing around them. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that is a thing. So any frost weapon on this list, bueno. If that's a thing, bueno. Easy number 6. Easy number 6. Alright, now for number 5, the Royal Greatsword. This is one of my favorite weapons in the whole game. Hands down. Hands down. So, it being this high might be a little biased, but this weapon is amazing. Okay? 1, it's a colossal sword. Should I say any more? 2, the Ash of War is absolutely crazy on this. It inflicts frost as well, so keep that in mind. Another good weapon for you mages. I mean, this whole video is about it weapons, so all these weapons are pretty good for you. But okay, moving on. Once again, if the enemy can get staggered and like knocked back, this weapon is perfect for it, because every time you jump down, stab the sword into the ground, and then you pull it out. Once you stab it, they'll fall, and when you pull it out, they'll fall back. So you can easily spam this. So it's definitely a spammable weapon, if they can get stunned. If they can't, you might have a little bit of trouble with this weapon, because it is kind of slow, but it still does good damage, so just keep that in mind. Easy number 5. Good weapon, great weapon, Royal Greatsword. Moving on. Alright, for the number 4 slot, we got another Greatsword. I love me my Greatswords. This one's an iconic weapon, okay? If you're simping for a certain somebody, you're gonna love this weapon. But in general, this weapon has good damage. The Ash of War is pretty brain dead. You inflict your weapon with like frost, and then when you do heavy attacks, you can like shoot these arcs of frost at the enemy. Pretty broken, pretty overpowered. It does good damage. Like most weapons that you throw stuff from with the Ash of War, it doesn't really do a lot of damage, but this one does quite a bit of damage, and it still has that frost proc. And as you get up close to an enemy, and you do a heavy attack, you still hit them with your sword, and you'll throw that projectile. So if you get close and do that, that shit's gonna be, oh my god, that's gonna be brain dead. But this weapon has very good stats, very good damage, very good stance, very nice weapon, okay? It looks amazing as well. I love the look of this weapon. Easy number 4. Easy number 4. Alright, now for the number 3 spot, this is a weapon that I feel like a lot of people don't really know about. I recently learned about this weapon, and I'm gonna be honest, this is one of my favorite weapons in the whole entire game, paired with this Ash of War. If this weapon's not paired with this Ash of War, it's not the best. It's the Clayman's Harpoon, okay? And the Ash of War's Ice Spear. Very good pair up. Very good pair up. If for some reason you don't like the Ice Spear, you can put any Ash of War on this weapon. But I highly, highly suggest putting on Ice Spear, because this Ash of War paired with that weapon, immensely brain dead. It is immensely brain dead. Such a good weapon. I was gonna put it number 2, but the 2 slot, it's just a better weapon, just by a slight bit. Just by a slight bit, okay? But this is a very underrated weapon. I never hear anyone talking about this weapon, and it is very nice. 10 out of 10. I'm only gonna give it a number 3 though, okay? Still 10 out of 10 now. Alright, now for number 2. I know I keep saying this, but this is one of my favorite weapons. My 2 no-death runs, this is the weapon I used. This is the weapon, okay? It procs frost like stupidly fast. Stupidly fast. If you charge the special ability, you can hit like a bomb on it, but if you just hit it and then do like a light attack on it, you'll make a little pathway of Ghost Flame. And this path, oh my gosh, if the enemy gets stuck in it, it's game. It's wraps. It's wraps. They're dead. And if you pair this with like, say, another, like the Blasphemous Blade, because that has fire. If you pair it with that, and then proc frost, unproc frost, proc frost, unproc frost, you're killing the boss stupidly fast. That motherfucker's dead. That motherfucker's dead in like 2 seconds. GG's. Wrap. Easy number 2. This weapon's brain dead. Broken. I love it. Don't fix it. Moving on. Alright, for our number 1 spot, pretty sure everyone saw this coming, but it's gotta be the Moonveil. Okay? This weapon is cooked. If you like the Unsheath ability on katanas, this is it on steroids. This is it on steroids, okay? You still have the normal Unsheath ability where you can do the top-down slash or like the horizontal slash. But instead of it just being normal slashes, it has a projectile on it now. And that projectile hits like a fucking truck. And this weapon's a katana. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with this weapon. This weapon is a perfect weapon. The epitome of a perfect weapon right here. Crazy good damage. It has bleed. Its scaling is very nice, especially for you int users. And it's just very easy to keep distance when you're fighting bosses and shit. Like that transient Moonlight projectile that will carry you in a lot of fights. You do not need to get close. And if you're a mage, I'm assuming you're not going to be getting close anyways. So this would be a perfect weapon for you. People might say something because it is a broken weapon, but fuck it. It's your way to play. Go have fun. Go beat the game. But that's going to be it for this list, okay? Hope you guys don't hate me too much for making this list. Hope you guys can agree a little bit with it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, boys.